Hello and welcome to this video regarding the Minecraft 1.17 update. In this video I want to discuss some technical aspects that you may not be aware of when trying to update Minecraft and running a server or things like that. Credit has to go to another YouTuber for the methods I'm going to show you. I didn't come up with them on my own. I need to find a link to their video and put that in the description below. So what we're going to do is I'm going to install the latest version, the beta release or alpha release version of Optifine. So I've downloaded it here. I got itchy. I got to really shave. Anyway, so I got this preview Optifine 1.17 HDU G9. And if I double click on it, well, actually I wouldn't want to put it there. What I normally do with this is I run it over here into the mods folder. This is right off your .minecraft install directory into mods. I would normally want to take it over here, and then I would want to run it. But if I do this, there's going to be a problem. First of all, it's going to adopt or take any settings from any other installations of Optifine that you have had installed, probably the last one you did. And secondly, it's going to mess up things like trying to run a server or any of that stuff if your server is 1.16.5 like mine is. I'll demonstrate if I can. There was an error loading Optifabric. Okay. Well, what's going on here is that this 1.17 version of Optifine has kind of messed everything up here. It seems to me that the general best way to do your installs for older versions of Minecraft is to actually install them into your versions folder. And so this is what we have to do now for 1.16.5, Optifine, Forge, Minecraft, all of that stuff that needs to be in its own. Everything needs to be installed here if you're going to be running 1.17. 1.17 will now take the main directory, and you'll always use the latest version, the most updated version of Minecraft off of your main directory, and I think it'll also work with snapshots. But then you'll take and put in here all the older stuff. But anytime you have an issue like that, that's probably the best procedure. The way to fix the problem, well, there's one way that I know to do it, and that is to go through and reinstall one of your other versions, your last stable for 1.16.5. In this case, for me, would be this one here. I would install that, and that would fix it. I want to see if there's another way that I can change this, and we'll go over that in just a second. I've also got a few things to show you in a text document. I actually made a text document. I hate that when I try to click on it and then it goes away and fades in and goes away. It's really frustrating. Anyway, I made a text document some time ago, but I don't know where it is right now. But if I go over here to installations and I go over here to, say, Minecraft Fabric, here we go. I go to edit and I go here to more options. I'm going to press Control-All and Control-C. And when I put that into here, what you're going to see with Control-V is a lot of entries. That's because I did a lot of searching around and browsing on the internet, and I found this set of commands and codes that would help to make Minecraft run a little better, and it did help. And this works with 1.16.5. And so far, even 1.12. So I'd say 1.16.5 and previous versions of Minecraft. However, there is a command or commands in here that do not work with Minecraft 1.17. If you have these in there, you're going to get a failed to start the Java virtual machine or some error like that. And I haven't figured out which command or commands are causing it. I will have to go through these. I have some suspects. I'll have to go through them and see which they might be and write a list of them out or something. I wish that there was a detailed article that would tell you about each and every possible command regarding that Minecraft could use for every version of Minecraft, since 1.12 at least, that you could use here in the advanced options so you'd know exactly what each thing does and you'd be able to edit it to your tastes. But there's nothing like that that I know of. I guess that's too much. That'd be a lot of work for somebody to try to do. The important stuff here for you to know is this XMX and XMS, those two you can still use. They both are talking about how much RAM is set aside for Minecraft. Generally, you want to use like, I think they say like 1/4 of whatever you have. But if you've got a system with a huge bunch of RAM, and it's going to be more than 8 gigs for the 1/4, well, then you wouldn't need to do that. I don't think you have to go ever higher than 8 gigs is what I've been told. I don't know if that's true, especially with the new textures and mods and shaders and all of that, but that's what I've been told. So right now I have 16 in here, so I have 4 on both of these. And I could go up to 8, I could do half. But 4 seems to be fine. It's been pinging my CPU and my GPU pretty hard running this. Now let me show you the commands that you're going to see if you go to 117 by default. I haven't tried this reset, but I'm assuming the reset will change everything out of there. So you might use that if you've made commands in here and they're messing things up. I don't know, I haven't experimented with it, but if I go to Control A and Control C for copy, and I go in here and I type in Control V, this is the options that come by default, except for this one right here. I added the XMS. All the rest of this is default with Minecraft 1.17. So there's some kind of incompatibility with these. I haven't figured out what it is, but just be aware of that. When you install Optifine into your Minecraft, and if you've done any altering of commands like I have here, it's going to absorb those into the newest version, and that's going to cause you another error. Okay, so the next thing, let's see if we can fix our problem. I have installed a new version of Optifine, and it has caused the game to crash. And for whatever reason, it's not showing up here in the, well, it is. It took over Optifine 1.12 for some reason. I don't know why. Optifine 1.12 should be in its own directory, so that means I'll have to reinstall that as well. Anyway, so what I want to do here, this says 117 Optifine GU pre-29, so what I want to do is I'm going to go in here, and this is what the tutorial YouTube recommended regarding another thing, but just changing the default game directory. So if I go to Browse, do that, and say that that is the directory it's going to run from. And then, of course, I'll need to change this, so this will be 1.17. So now we've changed it to 1.17. We've changed the directory. We've verified that this is the latest 1.17 release. All of our options we've checked are not, that huge long list, so we're on the right option. So I press Save. Now if I press play on Fabric, theoretically, if I haven't screwed something else up, it should load. Let's see what happens. No. So I've got to figure out how to fix that. So we'll work on this together. I'll fast forward or click ahead or whatever I need to do while we're working on this, so you can see the kind of debugging process that I'm going through, and you can learn how to do this on your own. That's all it took. I just had to delete the installer. It wouldn't run it with the installer there. Okay, so you have to run, if you've installed the Optifine 1.17, any version of that, and you're getting the error, you have to delete it, the installer, out of the mods directory, and then you have to run the installer from the latest 1.165 or whatever that you're running, okay? So now the next step is to try to put all of these in the versions directory. We fixed the error now, so that's taken care of. So now what I want to do is I want to run all of these. I want to run them in their own individual directories. Now I have not run, that's right, I've only run Optifine. I haven't run Fabric, so this may still not have its own folder yet. So this could be an error with the way Fabric works, I suppose, because I'm not seeing any Fabric in here at all. I see Forge. I've got a fabric loader 113. Is that the right one? Okay, so it's at the bottom. Fabric loader 1.13, 1.165. There it is. So that's where we're now going to run fabric from. We know its commands and everything else should be good. I don't think we have anything we have to do here, so we'll just save that. Now this I'm going to remove for right now. I'm going to come back to that later. Forge I'm going to move. So Forge is now going to go to the Forge part of its directory. And then there's another thing you've got to be aware of once we've done that. I need to tell you about. So 3614, 3614, there's my 116.5 Forge. That's good. Okay, here's my Forge 112. This should already be done. Pretty sure, yeah. Versions 112, I did this one. And then Minecraft 112 has its own install directory in the same area. And I'll show you really quick how to access that so you know. And then here's 116.5, which we now need to change. This is for Optifine. Now I'm assuming once I've done this that it won't find those previous commands, so it won't adopt them. But I could be wrong on that. So HUGU8 I believe is the latest for Optifine, so now that's done. Okay, so now we've got one more thing you've got to be aware of. Over here in your Minecraft directory, now that we've done that, anything that you want running anywhere has to go now into your versions, into a mods folder. I don't remember if you have to run installers from there. So let's go ahead and open this in a new window. So here's our versions. So here, for example, is Optifine. And as you can see, it's missing any of the folders that you would need to have here. So we will create a new folder called mods. So this is being created in your .minecraft versions 116.5 HDUG8 version of Optifine. And in here in the mods for Optifine, I don't think we're going to be running very many mods other than itself. But the question is, do we install it? So let's go ahead and play with this. We'll move it over. And we'll run the installer from here. And then we're going to change this to the same directory where we're currently at. So we'll go to versions, Optifine HDGU8 right there. Press open, press install. Cannot find. So you cannot install it that way. I will leave the mod here just to see what that does, if anything. Gonna take and move the other mod, Optifine 112, which I believe is right here, GU5. I'm not 100% sure if the mods will work over here. That's another question. Or can we leave them? Yeah, because I was moving textures but not mods. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Oh, poo on you. Let's remove that for right now. We'll leave that alone. So we've pointed that. We pointed this. Fabric API has to be in the mods folder, but this is incompatible with our 117. But see, we have replay mod from 112 here, and it's fine. So I'm not 100% sure. Oh, and we should take the, of course, GU8 back over here. So what will happen right now is if I install this, it will try to overtake these other installs. So let's see what we have here. We have Optifine 1.16.5, and we have Fabric 1.16.5, and we pointed them to their own folders, but is that going to be enough? I don't quite know. So let's go ahead and install this and see what happens. Okay, so let's change the name of this to Optifine 1.17 and check and make sure. So this will be on the default directory. Yes. So all we would add here is XMS for G and a space. That's my only change. And save and play, and I'm curious to see, this should load fine, but then I've got to try Fabric again, and I'm wondering if it'll even load. The next thing would be to take the Fabric API and put it in a mods folder off of the Fabric versions folder and see if that fixes that issue. Okay, so we now have this running. So that's good. Now the next question is what happens if I attempt to try to run Fabric. I'm assuming I'm going to get an error, probably because it doesn't have the Fabric API unless it can stay in the mods folder and draw from that, but it knows to operate with its own folder. I'm not sure how this works. It's running. We're good. Let's see if we have everything we need here. We go to options. We have no resource pack. So I'll show you the secret to that in a second. If I go to pack folder, it's right here under versions Fabric Loader resource packs. Well, what are you doing? I'm not loading anything. If I go to video, I should have no shaders. So I've got another problem. We're not running Optifine in here. Okay, so let's see if we can address these two issues. It is running. That's the main thing. Sometimes we might have to make multiple copies in a directory, so we might have to have here in the mods and sometimes over here. I'm not sure, but I think I had to do that once before with something. So Fabric is down here, and our latest one is here. And right now we've got everything in here. It gave us the mods, resource packs. So let's take Fabric API and move it. I'm kind of curious what this will do. And we're going to take OptiFabric and move that. So now we should have shaders. These two can stay where they are. Replay mod is a mod that... Now wait a minute. No, I think I need to copy these. Excuse me. I think I need to copy them over. So here's replay and here's world edit. I think I have to have them in here because this is its own version, so it has to have its own copies of these, I believe. Don't quote me. And now for the resource packs, all you have to do is take your 1.16.5 textures and move those over. Or copy them if you're going to try to run them in 1.17, which I'm actually going to do. So all I have to do is take everything I have here and just go to Control-All and just copy it. I know that's a little more space on my drive, but that's the cost that I'll have to pay until I am able to run everything on 1.17. And I can't do that until OptiFabric and all the other things are updated. So this will now give me resource packs. And while that copies, I should be able... Yeah, see, I don't have a shaders folder. So it doesn't consider Optifine that have been here, but let's go ahead now that we're getting that copying and we've now put OptiFabric in its folder. Let's go ahead and go to the Fabric 116 again, press play, and see if OptiFabric creates the folder that we need in the versions folder. Now this gave us an error. Could not find oh, well, that's a simple enough error to address. So it wants to have its own copy of the Optifine jar. I didn't think it actually used Optifine. It used OptiFabric. I must be misunderstanding something, but we can copy that over. That's not a big deal. Okay, this time it loaded, so that might have been all I needed to do. Let's see. If I go to video, I now have shaders. Okay. So shaders are now available to me. So you have to copy over the Optifine installer, but you do not run it within the versions folder. You will need to have run it within the main directory in your mods folder, but you will not run it within your versions folder, sub or isolated or whatever you want to call it directory. I don't know what a technical term would be. We should see shaders in here, shader packs. And so for shader packs, I will take all of my shaders that I have and copy them over. Shaders are not extracted as far as I know, although I think you can run some of them extracted in a folder like the resource, but resource you extract. Resource you'll extract, and every resource pack that you extract has to have this right at the root of it. So it has to, right when you open the resource pack folder, it needs to say assets and helper files and whatever else. If there's another folder here and then you open it up and it says assets, you'll need to move it up a directory or it won't work. Okay, so let's go to options. I do not know if it's managed to copy over everything yet. It's still doing Patrix. So I'm assuming, pardon the volume, I'm assuming that it's not there yet. Yeah, it's still just doing Patrix. So, it's saying that it's not compatible, which is interesting. I don't strictly believe that. So to put the NAPP textures on here, what I'm going to do, this is very difficult to see it, but I think I'm going to put on this one. What in the world? This one first, right above the fabric mods. And then I'm going to put on this wood overlay and just tell it yes. And the 2D, tell it yes. I'm going to move the 2D down one. And the records, I'm going to put that one on. And I think the records is the least important. Go on top. We got a wood overlay. We got the 2D. We got the 2.9. And we shall see if it will run. The rest is Patrix stuff. See if we get a crash or if it works. Because those are the textures they have you download, and I thought it was for this version of Minecraft, but maybe it's for 1.16.4 or 3 or base or something. Video settings, shaders, and of course I will be using BSL, I believe. But I've got another problem. All of my settings for BSL are now gone, I'm assuming. Because I've now put it in another directory. I don't know where it saved the settings originally. It's in some config file somewhere, so I have no idea how to copy that over, where it is, or how to deal with that. So yeah, we got on profile high, and I'll have to go through all of that later, but for right now, let's just see what we have here. So we will try to load a, whoa, I don't want to do that. I want to load a world. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, one more little thing that I forgot about, I need to let you know. So, on top of your textures, your shaders, your world files are also not going to be available for your subdirectory, your version installs like this. You're not going to be able to do that. So to have those saves, you'll have to copy those over as well. That's why it was giving me the new thing. So if I go to date modified, I'll put over DBsWorld, dbcraft, and maybe my daily practice, flat world. I think that'll be good for now. Maybe old PC. I won't copy everything. I've got a lot of old worlds. These are the ones that I really refer to and use right now. But the good news is I'll have backup. So now if I go to single player, I should be able to load it. Now, because these have been saved in the newer version of Minecraft, I could run across issues. Now, these are independent of the other ones, so there's going to be an issue here where if I chose to play the 1.16.5 world and I made changes, those changes won't be there if I go to the 1.17 world. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to make it so that you can go between them. So you'll have to kind of weigh that problem with yourself. I know that the server that I've got running, I need it to run on 1.16, and that's how I'll play it. These things here I'll probably only play in the new version of Minecraft, so it doesn't going to bother me. But let's go load up DBsWorld. I want to see what kind of issues we get. Okay, well, I see one problem right away. We're not getting the benefit of our shaders at all here. Because nothing here looks 3D, and all of my controls are gone. So that's another thing you're going to have to keep in mind. You're going to lose your control configurations as well. Yeah, so that's becoming a bit of a hassle, I have to admit, doing that. I forgot about all of that. I think the controls are saved in a document somewhere in your Minecraft directory, and copy that over. I'll see if I can't find it here and show you how to do that. Okay, so I've just gone through the settings, and they are, I don't know why the textures don't look right, but they are saved from my work before. But they don't look right, as you can see. They don't look good at all. They're all messed up. And I don't know if that's because of loading from a new version to an old or what the deal is, but something isn't going right here. Not 100% sure what it is. Let's see if we can find that file for the controls. Okay, so I'm back, and what I have found is there is an options text file. Looks like we've got options, OF, option shaders, and user cache. So I want to copy those over, I think, from over here. So user cache, options. Here's an OptiFabric and options shaders. Alright, let's see what that does. Hopefully it won't cause something to crash. Okay, so I've got my controls back. That's good. Lost all options for shaders. Don't have that anymore. I was wrong, however. BSL did carry over the settings from before. Lost our resource packs. Let's go see if the sun's a-shining out there. Something's not quite right with the settings yet. A lot of stuff seems to be working, but not everything. So I'll have to play with that and figure out why I'm not seeing what I need to be seeing here for these. Okay, so the next process is to make sure that we can now run 117 independently over here, both in Optifine and in normal mode. Anyway, that's how you configure it, and it's the options file that seems to have your controls in it, so you can copy over your controls. But you're going to have to copy over everything, and this is only going to be something you would want to do, I suppose, if you're trying to run a server. I don't think you'd want to do it on a world you're building or playing on, because it's just not going to work. And in fact, I'm going to delete these saves. I'm going to figure out why the Optifine, the shaders aren't working through Optifine. I don't quite understand why that's not working. It's probably a file that's missing, or I didn't set right, or a setting somewhere. I'll have to look to see. Let's see what anything else here that might be have anything to do with it. So one other thing you need to know about is here in installations, you might want to install a particular version. You go up here to new installation, you give it a name, be very specific, what version of Minecraft, if it's a mod version like Fabric or Forge, whatever that might be. Just give it the name that matches whatever you're going to be putting in there. So if something doesn't show up in your list, you can put it in this way and you can install it. So if I wanted to install Minecraft 116.5, which is right here, because once I updated to 117, I lost my 1.16.5 install. So I want that installed. So if I do this, I can now install it, and furthermore, I can now change the options. I have right here in this handy text document what I showed you earlier. I can just take everything here and go to Control All, Control A, Control V, and now I can put the directory where it's going to install. I'm not going to put it in the main directory because that would overwrite 117, because this is an older version of Minecraft now, and I'm going to be moving on to 117. I'm only coming into this for older maps or for my server. I'll just install it right here into the versions 116.5 folder. Why not? And I'll probably go ahead and press create. And that will now give me Minecraft 116.5 right here. And then in that Minecraft 116.5, I may put some mods and stuff. I don't know if I can get, with that now installed, if I can make that work with Forge and Fabric. That's a very good question. I don't know. So I'm going to play with that, and if it works, I'll have another video part that I'll put in here for you. For right now, I just want to be sure to copy over all of the user files so I don't lose my controls. So now if I press play, theoretically it'll load. Question is, can I get Fabric and Forge and all of that loaded up and working in here off the version directory rather than the main directory? We're going to try that right now, and I will do a video if I have any luck with it. Okay, I'm back with another little blip for you in this tutorial video guide thing that I'm trying to do. I have just created a new world after changing the default directory of Optifine. I've changed it now to Minecraft 1.165, which I installed, and it looks as if we now have Optifine and shaders working, and we have this in a versions directory. Now how we did this is we installed Optifine 1.165 and it overwrote, of course, the 117, but I then changed the name and then I changed the directory to the Minecraft 1.165 directory. Now I might do the same stuff for Fabric. I'm not 100% sure how I want to go about this because I generally try to run Fabric. Now I think I was just in Minecraft 116.5. So let's go ahead and load up Fabric and see if anything has changed there. I don't think it has. Or then maybe I'll try to change the Fabric directory from its own individual inversions. I might change that to the 1.16.5 directory inversions for Minecraft. And I don't know what will happen if I change the Fabric directory, if that will make it better or worse. We have the NAPP textures and they look gorgeous. So the next question is, do I strictly need to move the Fabric folder explicitly into the Minecraft 1.16.5 directory? Let's go ahead and do an experiment and see what happens if we do that. We'll go to installations. So you can see here, here's Optifine 1.16.5. And if I go to edit, you can see that it's now in Minecraft version 1.16.5. Let's do the same thing here. Maybe I won't though, actually, because Forge and Fabric, they each have different mods. And they have to kind of be run individually. I think I'm going to leave it, actually. I think I'm going to leave it right where it is. So currently Fabric is in it's pointing to the versions directory, as is Minecraft 1.16.5, as is Optifine, which has now been installed into that, and somehow Fabric is accessing it. So I probably should move the mods and anything else I want over to the main Minecraft folder, probably what I need to do, and the controls, if I haven't already. And then it should be ready to run, and then I'll reinstall Optifine 1.17 and see if that's everything working without errors. And then I'll try running my server and see how that's going to go. I'll go ahead and include you in this and just cut out or fast forward as needed. I will do one thing. I'm going to go ahead now and I will now install. And I wonder if I need this Optifine in here anymore, because it's no longer going to be used in here. But I'm going to leave it for now and run this. Okay, so now we have this where it needs to be. This will be the default directory, and it will be this smaller section of code. So far so good. We'll go to single player. We'll go to DB's world. Okay, so we've now loaded up and we will see if we've done all of our settings right. There's no shaders here. This is the Patrix texture pack without shaders, and this is the version you get when you become a patron. Go over here to these grass blocks and see if it gives me a message that I didn't connect things right or whatever. It requires connected textures. So there you go, the Patrix texture pack, and I don't have a sun or a moon, so I'm going to have to re-add that because I turned it off for the shaders. Pretty cool. So that's what I'll be rocking whenever I play 1.17. Okay, so let's delete everything that we've got here. I think this is all deletable at this point, except for maybe these. Okay, final video in this nightmarishly long, I don't know how I'm going to edit this thing. But as you can see, everything is working. We now have got shaders. We've got everything running. And all we had to do over here is, all we have to have, yeah, I don't find my folder now. In the Fabric Loader versions folder, we don't need to put anything. So ignore any instructions that might remain by the time I finish this video that told you to do that. In this case, you don't have to. The way to think of it is when you install Fabric, and I don't know how this is going to work with Forge, but it's going to be similar for Forge and other mods like that. But when you install this, you install it into your main Minecraft directory. You install the version for that install of Minecraft that you're running your main directory of Minecraft. If you're changing your install for your main directory of Minecraft to be in the versions folder and to be 1.165, which is essentially what I'm doing, well, then the process is a little bit different. You install the mods, but then you point them to the Minecraft 1.16.5 folder. So if I go in here to, well, first let's take a look around, just enjoy the scenery here. I mean, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. Okay, so I showed you how to install using the new installation, and we went through and we showed you how to select Minecraft 1.16.5, excuse me again. And then I typed in Minecraft 1.16.5, and I went through that process and I installed it, which you can now see right here. And this is pointing, as you can see, if I go in here, it's pointing to app data, Minecraft versions 1.16.5. And now if I go in here to this and click on versions, I've got Minecraft 1.16.5. Here's all the stuff. And now, because I've treated this like the main install directory for Minecraft and installed Fabric accordingly into this, gave it the folders and controls, all the other stuff that I needed, now I'm able to have the shaders and stuff running even if I click on Fabric. Now the ultimate test, though, is going to be, can we get my server running? So I did figure out the whole server thing. I forgot that it didn't remember some of the settings from before, because that was in my other main Minecraft. Now it's different. But now I remembered, I typed in the IP address, and here I am. Got my IP address from Radman VPN. Here I am in BlissWorld getting ready to create the spawning area for everybody. That'll be my next task. And you can see shaders and everything are working. So this will work for your server. Just remember you got to redirect connect to it, give it the address of your VPN or whatever you're doing. If you're running your server, give it the address, and then it will find it, and then it will be in your list. Yeah, so be sure to add the server or type in a direct connection. I think I said that wrong. I said just direct connect, but no, you want to add it so it's in the list of servers you have access to. So go to add server, IP address, name, and now you're ready to go, and you're going to be in your server. And there you go. Now you can run your server on your Minecraft Fabric modded 1.16.5, whatever it is, and you can run 1.17 on your other stuff, and you won't have any errors or issues. Anyway, that'll conclude this video for now. Hopefully you'll be able to see how to solve these errors. If you're trying to run the latest version of Minecraft and you're getting an error, when you want to try to run an older version like 1.16.5, you're probably going to have to install it into the versions area, but be sure that you're not going to be putting a world that you're going to be working a lot on. This will work great for old worlds you want to load up and play specifically within that old version of Minecraft. It would be great for that. It'll be great for a server that has to run on a certain version. It'll be great in this instance when you can't run, latest mods and stuff because they haven't updated yet, but it's not ultimately going to help you, I think, in the long run. We basically have to wait until Optifine, Optifabric, and everything else is updated, but at least this will get you up and running. If I've confused you or left anything out where I didn't describe it well enough, or there's any questions you have, please leave a comment below. Let me know. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.